Hello, this is Yaneck from Vasho Photography, and this episode will show you how to set up your Wacom tablet for photo editing if you are a left-handed person. So if you're a left-handed person, I'm sure you know that a lot of things are not designed for us. Most of the things are designed for right-handed people, so that to make it work for us, we have to make some small adjustments. And the Wacom tablets are no exceptions. In our studio, we use two types of tablets. One is the wired one, and this is the Intuos 4 tablet. And then for our other workstation, and often when we travel, we use the Intuos Pro, which is wireless tablet, so that we can travel very easily with it. As you can also notice that we use the smallest sizes of those tablets. The reason is because we don't come from a painting background, so I mainly move, when I draw, I mainly move my wrists, so like that. If you come from a drawing background, you most likely use your whole arm. In this case, you would need a bigger tablet, but because we use mainly our wrist to brush, in Photoshop, then a smaller tablet makes much more sense for us. So, as I mentioned, by default, the Wacom tablets are configured for right-handed people. So what it means that the hotkeys are positioned on the left side of the tablet, so that when you paint with the right hand, you can easily access the hotkeys with the left hand. Obviously, for us left-handed people, it doesn't work so well, because when you start drawing with the left hand, one, you cover the hotkeys with your left hand, and you will constantly accidentally hit those buttons, with different results. So what we need to do is we need to position the tablet this way, so that we can still draw with our left hand, and then the hotkey buttons are on the right side, so you can take advantage of them. Personally, we only use the wheel. We disable all these buttons here, and because we were hitting them too much when we painted in Photoshop. So let me show you how we have it set up here in our computer. And I just moved the keyboard a little bit this way so it's easier to see. So we always position the Wacom tablet right in front of our keyboard. And this hand, our right hand, is either on the wheel or on the keyboard, adjusting the brush size and opacity. But this way, we can easily access the hotkeys here, can draw nicely on the tablet, and we don't accidentally hit anything of the hotkeys on the right side. So this applies, the configuration that I'll just show you applies to both the wired one, the older version, as well as the newer version. So let's go to the computer, and I'll show you how to configure the software so that it's more friendly for left-handed people. Okay, so here we are in the Wacom Properties. So to get there, you just go to your Windows. I assume, I don't know the Mac, but in the Windows operating system. I'm going to tap Wacom Properties, open it here, and this is the main screen for the Wacom tablet. The few things that we usually change when it comes to setting up for left-handed person. First thing, if we go to option, we change the handness from right to left. So that's change number one. Change number two, when we go to mapping, we change the orientation. So this express keys, normally by default, they're set to left. So they're on the left side. We are changing them to be on the right side. Also, as you can see, we are using two monitors on this computer. So we actually using we mapping the tablet area to only cover the first monitor. The second monitor we can always access through the mouse. So to take a full advantage of the area in our tablet, we set it up here, a screen area, to monitor one. And after, so this is all the changes you make here. There are a couple of more changes that we like to do for editing in Photoshop. So one thing is we make the firmness a little bit firmer, so that you have to press a little bit harder when you brush on your layers. And the second thing that we change here are the mapping of the buttons on the stylus. So the bottom one is we just keep it as right click, but the upper one we change. So I don't remember what is the default, but if we change it to keystrokes. When you go to keystroke, let me just clear it, and we do so when you press Ctrl-Alt-Z, automatically populate it. And what it does in Photoshop is that by default, if you press Ctrl-Z, it just circulates back and forth on your last change. But if you press Ctrl-Alt-Z, you can go in the history further and further back. Well, it's a 3-key stroke, so it's so much easier when we use the upper button of the stylus. So for example, let me show you here in Photoshop. If we create a new, let me just go to layers, we're gonna go new layer, and let me take a brush. I'm gonna take black brush. Let me change the opacity, let's say to 50% or something like that. I'm gonna brush it so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I do just Ctrl-Z, only the last one will rotate back and forth. But if I use my upper button on the stylus, I can just go back to where I was. So very simple. It speeds up our editing. And also the second thing that we do here in Photoshop, we use the wheel. So now we use the wheel on the right side of the tablet to increase the size of the brush. So this way we can paint with the big brush, quickly change it, and we can quickly change brush with a smaller one. So that's also much faster, instead of reaching out to keyboard and pressing the brackets multiple times. So this makes editing just so much faster. So again, to make your tablet work the best with if you're left-handed, couple of things that you need to change. So first, just reiterate. First one, you change the handness to left. And then the big thing is that to change on the mapping tab, you change the orientation so that the express keys are set to express keys on the right from the default express keys to on the left. So these are the two major changes you have to make if you want to be left-handed and have your express keys on the right side of your tablet. Whether you use Intuos 4, 5, or the Pro version or any other ones, the software is the same. This is the latest version that we got from the Wacom site. So there, this is basically universal for all the tablets, all the Intuos tablets. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please post a comment in the video below, and we'll be happy to answer. Thank you. This is Yaneck from Vasha Photography.